Shabbat Shalom Temple Betham, a three-part video, a brief announcement or update from the community, a brief Dvar Torah, and a brief meditation. The update from the community, two quick things. One is that we want to invite you to join Monday night at 5 p.m. as we combine Hama'alot, that occasional Shabbat morning, creative, inventive, musical, harmonic, in-the-round service, with Rosh Chodesh, which is we celebrate every month as we celebrate the beginning of the new Hebrew month, all on Zoom, which is going to take away some of what is so magical about Hamalo, which is being near each other and hearing the harmonies build. But we've crafted a service for you that we think is going to be really meaningful. So please join us 5 p.m. on Monday. Links will be going out soon. Second quick update is that as you kind of look at the landscape of synagogues around our city and country, they're kind of dropping like flies. I don't mean that in a negative way. They're making decisions already about high holidays. Many synagogues have already made the conclusive decision that whatever is going to be happening on high holidays this year, it will all be digital. There will be no in-person gathering. Temple Betham has not yet made that decision. We may have to eventually. We have task forces moving to try to think through all the different possibilities. We're giving ourselves until about the first or second week of July to make that decision, so that we can make a decision and work towards that and not throw resources towards something that may never come to fruition. Whatever we end up doing, we hope that you will join us in heart and spirit as we once again celebrate the beginning of a new Jewish year, 5781, under circumstances we could never possibly have fathomed, but we'll do so as a community. We'll do so with our eyes towards the heavens and with our spirits turned towards our own self-improvement, and we'll do so in all the ways that our technology and our sense of safety allow us to do. Okay, now the Dvar Torah. So, Parshat Shlakh Lekha, the 12 scouts the Meraglim sent into the land of Israel, did they lie? Did the scouts, particularly the 10, say things that they knew in their hearts were not real? Right? 10 come back with a negative report, 2 come back with a positive report. That's the question that the Kutzker Rebbe asks on the initial testimony of the scouts upon their return from Canaan. The verse says, sorry, I didn't have it in front of me. Vayisapru lo, they came back and they told Moshe, Vayomru, and they said, Banu el haaretz, we came to the land, asher shalachtanu, that you sent to us. V'gam zavar chalav udvash, it's also flowing with milk and honey. V'zet pirya, and this is its fruit. And then, of course, in the next verse they say, but there are giants there. We'll never be able to overcome them. The first 10 scouts who speak are very pessimistic about the possibility of this land being ours. It seems that all the scouts agreed on the facts. So what was the sin of the 10 for which they and the people were so sorely punished? The Kutzker says something very important. Not everything that isn't a lie is truth. A person who looks in the mirror and says, I'm not a liar, even if that is true, it does not make that person a person of truth. He goes on to say that emet, truth, is related to something deeper than surface knowledge, or even deeper than testimony on what you see. It stems from the deepest part of the heart. It goes hand in hand with faith, emet ve'emunah, truth and faith. And this kind of truth, this kind of emet, you don't acquire it easily with a surface look at reality. You don't achieve this kind of emet just by not lying, but rather with deep effort and courageous probing. These scouts, they went and they saw and they reported, and they may not have lied. They also did not dig deep to uncover the truth behind God's word, God's call for us to inherit that land. They saw only the external, the epidermis of that terrain. And it was scary, and they reported back. They did not subject the reality to a deeper probe, a truth MRI, to see the truth of that place that was known only to the Holy One. And so in the Kutzker's words, they relied on their own limited and circumscribed vision, which made it false in some way because it was so limited, rather than relying on, or at least reaching for, a more divine aspect. And it was a sin. In what ways do we sin in a similar way in our lives? When do we conveniently pluck the surface look at a situation, sparing us from peering deeper into what is truly true? Some of this is playing out in our nation's recent convulsions against racial injustice in our society. So many are claiming, without lying, that they are not racist. Don't have a racist bone in my body. Not a lie. Others are pushing deeper. Yes, but how actively anti-racist am I? And must I be? It may not be a lie that I myself do a tremendous job of not being a racist. But what does a deeper truth demand of me as I look around me, at my neighborhood, at my community, and my society, and invest in the hard work rather than the easier self-preening of helping to eradicate racism from our midst? That's just one headline-worthy application of the Kutzker's teaching. Many more abound. Search your heart this Shabbat. Ponder your soul. Where are you stopping conveniently, comfortably at not lying? And thus, according to the Kutzker, where you may be unwittingly sinning. What will it take to dive deeper for the truth that is harder to find, harder to confront, but which ultimately liberates our souls and liberates others? That's the end of the Dvar Torah, or Shabbat Shalom. If you want to stay for a meditation, I encourage you to do so. But for the rest of you, Shabbat Shalom. So, wherever you are, as long as you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to dip into stillness, a stillness which is always elusive. Even when we are in stillness, we are not completely still. And just sense what is there in your body as you return to it. Where are you holding tension? Where have thoughts and anxieties and stresses meandered from your brain all the way into your extremities and holding knots, fatigue creating knots in your shoulders, which you should lower, your brow, which you should unfurrow, your eyeballs, which should fall deep in their socket, your fingers, which should lie so limply and gently on your legs. Start taking some slightly deeper breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. On the out breath, if you like, you can make a little bit of a sound, almost as if you were cooling off hot soup, just to really throw that air from your system. Not with too much effort. We want to allow our breathing, not to force our breathing, but we can allow it to come out with a certain amount of energy. Which activates the muscles of the diaphragm and allows the air to come in and out with a dynamism, a spiritual force. And I want you to let the following words linger in your consciousness for a few moments. I am not a liar. I do not lie. I do not knowingly say that which is not true. I hope those words describe you. I'm certain those words don't describe all of us all the time, but I'm hopeful you can say those words, I am not a liar, and have them be true. Hear yourself saying those words. Watch yourself perhaps in front of a mirror looking at you, checking in with you as you say to you, as you, I am not a liar. I can be believed. I am trustworthy. And now switch the phrase. And how different does it feel? And what does it trigger and invite up from within you? What feelings, both perhaps of pride and maybe even guilt, when you say to yourself, as you, I search out truth. I exemplify truth. I am a person of emet, of truth. If the latter one is harder to say than the former one, it means you are human. It means that you, like almost all of us, are subject to some of the soft sinning that the Kotzker Rebbe speaks about. It means we have work to do. As we make that jump from saying truthfully, I am not a liar, to saying truthfully, backed up by action, I search for truth. I am a person of truth. My goal in all my interactions and my commitments is the deepest emet that exists in God's world. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and take that truth-seeking part of you into this Shabbat and the week beyond. And I say to all of you, Shabbat Shalom, and I miss you, and I love you.